Tonight on WTOP-10 Nightly News, a victim's family is speaking out after deadly concert stampede in Rochester this past weekend.
And a campus police dispatcher is retiring. Find out what University Police says about his exit.
Also, why a student protest was canceled today after an announcement from Residence Life.
WTOP-10 Nightly News starts now.
Good evening and thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Madelynn Cummings.
And I'm Reilly Jones.
Students are celebrating tonight after an announcement from Residence Life and Housing this morning. In an email to residential students, Res Life says it will waive spring break housing fees for all students this year. Res Life says it is aware of concerns about housing costs and is working to better understand the situation. Anyone who wants to stay in the residence halls over break must request to stay on campus by completing the break housing application in their housing portal.
This comes mainly after international students were preparing to protest at Sheldon Hall earlier today at 1 p.m. The protest was canceled after the announcement from Res Life, but not before students made posters for the protest. But what did go as planned at SUNY Oswego campus today, the Career and Internship Fair. Our reporter Scott Brubaker has more on what Career Services is doing to get the students ready.
Today, students gathered in the Sweatman Gym to attend the 2023 Career and Internship Fair. Business career coach Elise Allington says that events like these are helpful for students looking for work.
About 85% of jobs are filled through networking, so events like this are a must-go-to, can't-miss event.
With over 100 employers at the fair, many students are eager to find new opportunities, like senior Janique Daniel.
Well, I'm looking for jobs after college. I graduate in May, upcoming, so I'm really excited to just be done. And I came here looking for sales positions and marketing positions.
Located in the campus in MCC, Career Services offers a wide range of free services for students to use to help them prepare for events like this one.
We have our resource center where our interns host drop-in hours where they can help you write your resume, cover letter, develop your LinkedIn profile, use our online job searching tools.
Career Services also has career coaches like Elise who are there to help students search for jobs and internships, explore their majors, and prep for interviews. Reporting in the Sweatman Gym, Scott Brubaker, WTOP-10.
Career Services are free for all students on campus. The Student Resource Center is open Monday through Friday starting at 11 a.m.
The Oswego City Police Department is warning residents against responding to scam text messages. The department says that people are receiving messages on their computers and electronic devices stating that they have a virus and telling them to call a number where they are asked to purchase gift cards. The police are instructing residents not to call these numbers, share any information, or purchase gift cards if they receive these messages.
In honor of Women's History Month, the Oswego City Police Department will be highlighting some of their female officers that go above and beyond to make the city a better place. The department wants to use this opportunity to make sure these women's hard work and dedication does not go unnoticed.
Campus Police Weekend Dispatcher Ford Babcock is retiring from SUNY Oswego's Police Department. After 15 years of service, the University Police is wishing Babcock well and says they deeply appreciate the positive impact he has had on students, staff, and officers.
SUNY Oswego seniors can now celebrate their last semester with Class of 2023 merchandise. The Office of Development and Alumni Engagement says the apparel comes in shorts and long sleeve t-shirts, as well as hoodies. All orders must be received by March 28th, and they will be available for delivery or pickup by May 8th through the 12th. All of the proceeds from the sales go to support the Class of 2023.
Red Schoolhouse Maple is offering a pancake breakfast Saturday, March 25th to benefit the Palomero United Methodist Church. Tickets are $10 for adults and $6 for children. They will be selling homemade pancakes, locally produced sausage, and a beverage. Plus, all plates will be served with 100% real maple syrup.
Spring is getting closer by the day, but the winter weather has been sticking around. Let's take a quick look at the weather At the weather with Storm Team 10 meteorologist Kaitlin Farrell, who joins us outside the Murano Campus Center.
I am outside WTOP studio right now, and we are currently kind of clear, but we've got some clouds coming off of the lake. We actually have some gravitational waves that came through. We can see a little bit off of it, off the wind. But for your topics for tonight, we are going to be seeing some more wintry weather approaching us throughout the rest of the week. So how will this impact travel into our next topic of how traveling will be affected by the winter weather, not only in the sky but on the ground. And lastly, spring break is right around the corner, so what will that look like? I will be explaining more as we head inside. Guys?
The family of a crowd-surged victim is speaking out. 2 women are dead, another critically injured, after a deadly stampede at a concert in Rochester on Sunday night.
Chase Howell spoke with the family of 35-year-old Brandy Miller as the search for answers continues.
This is a picture of Brandy Miller, taken the night she attended the Glorilla concert at the Main Street Armory in Rochester.
It just got me confused to where somebody can spend their money and buy a ticket to go have a good time, and you buying a ticket for your own death.
Police say Miller died Monday night after being critically injured during a crowd surge at Sunday night's concert. Some people claim they heard gunshots at the venue.
What really hurts is imagining the fear and the panic that was running through her head, you know, when she actually did fall and was feeling all the pressure and the feet on top of her.
Brandy is the middle child of her family. Her brother and sister, Jordan and Michelle, say she wasn't just their sister, but a friend.
Losing her, not having a support system like that moving forward, it's gonna be hard. And I really ain't figure it out or know what to actually think yet. So my sister was a big piece, a big key to my life.
And as her dog Champ waits at the door for Brandy to come home, her family waits for answers.
So I'm not blaming the promoters because they didn't push her on the ground and walk over her. But
Still ahead on WTOP-10 Nightly News, new information is being released about Breonna Taylor's 2020 death.
And today is International Women's Day. Find out how you can celebrate when we come back. Welcome back to Major Discussions.
Did you know dragging chains can spark a wildfire?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Hey there, I'm Al Roker, class of 76. Yes, way back in 76. Back when the earth was cooling. You're watching WTOP.
So right now we are having winds, outside we are having winds about 15 miles an hour, between 21 miles an hour, heading from the south. Right now we're experiencing some snow showers that won't be sticking throughout the night, but it will give us enough to just have a dusting to inch. Heading in for tomorrow, we are having snow showers throughout the day. Again, nothing too much is going to make it stick. We're having 32 degrees. Winds are kind of roughly the same, but are beginning to be a little less and heading towards the southeast. The daily planner, tonight we have 25 as our low, north winds from the north going 10 miles an hour, having some snow showers as well. Thursday, we're going to be seeing it clear up a little bit, still cloudy. North winds, 10 miles an hour once again, high of 32. Thursday night, we are going to be seeing we're not going to be seeing any precipitation, low of 24 with northeastern winds about 8 miles an hour. Now looking ahead across the entire country, we have this really weird system of low pressure systems that are going to come across the country as we head in later into the week. We have this high pressure system that is keeping the temperature warm, but then these low pressure systems that are bringing precipitation throughout there. Looking throughout the rest of the country, this low pressure system down here is our storm that we are currently tracking right now with the snow and stuff for vacations. And as we look throughout the rest of the country, we do not see anything else happening. So some winter driving tips for those of you who are not commuting, for those of you who are commuting, and for those of you who are going home. Make sure to check your tires. You want to make sure your tire pressure is still consistent and not too low and not too high. Remove ice and snow off your car, mirrors, lights, etc. You don't want to be blinding other drivers. You don't want other drivers blinding you. For skidding, you want to avoid acceleration and braking too hard. You want to just keep it consistent. If you start to skid, try and move your car with it so you can regain control of it once again. 7-day forecast, we are currently looking tomorrow, high of 34 with cloudy and some flurries, 26 degrees. Friday, 34 and cloudy, 23. Saturday and Sunday we'll be seeing our precipitation. Monday will be our next chance for some sun. Guys, back to you.
Thanks, Kaitlin. The Department of Justice has issued a scathing report on the Louisville Metro Police Department after a nearly 2-year review. The investigation was launched following a botched raid that killed Breonna Taylor, a 26-year-old emergency room technician. The review found Louisville police used excessive force, including neck restraints, police dogs, and tasers. The police department also executed search warrants without knocking and not announcing. Taylor's mother responded to the Justice Department's findings by saying, quote, "Breonna's death is not in vain."
19-year-old Keith Melvin Moses has pled not guilty to killing 3 people in Orlando, including a TV journalist. That journalist was covering the death of 38-year-old Natasha Augustine, who had been shot earlier in the day. Authorities say Moses returned to the scene and shot 24-year-old reporter Dylan Lyons there. Then he allegedly shot a 9-year-old girl to death at her home a short time later. Moses' plea was filed Monday.
Certain books are coming off the shelves at school libraries in Florida. The move comes as the state has established new mandates for school librarians to review reading materials. There's also a requirement for school districts to have process for the community to object to some books. Stephanie Susskind has the story.
Books by well-known authors like James Patterson and Toni Morrison off the shelves in Martin County schools. The list too long to name them all.
Once you start inserting curses and scenes of graphic sexual content, you render them inappropriate in some settings. They might be fine at a local public library or for personal purchase, but not for schools.
Parents sounded off on both sides of book bans at a recent school board meeting.
To remove books
Next on WTOP-10 Nightly News, 170 trillion plastic particles found in the world's oceans, how the UN plans to address the pollution.
Say, President Stanley, whenever there's bad weather, who would you turn to?
I'd turn to Storm Team 10.
No,
right
but you've
here.
got to say it like this. Storm Team 10. Say it with me. Storm Team 10.
Roll it. Jill told me it was Kitty from Glee. Yeah, what is it?
Al Roker.
Welcome back to WTOP-10 Nightly News. More than 170 trillion plastic particles have polluted the world's oceans, according to a 40-year study. Researchers analyzed data between 1979 and 2019 from nearly 12,000 sampling points in the world's oceans. They say there has been a rapid and unexpected increase in pollution since 2005. The United Nations have agreed to create a legally binding global plastics treaty by 2024, which would address plastics from production to disposal.
Walgreens says it will not distribute abortion medication in 20 states. Abortion medication now accounts for a majority of abortions in the U.S. It's become a focus of the fallout from the U.S. Supreme Court's decision last year that overturned Roe v. Wade. Walgreens says it will distribute the drug only in places where it is both legal and feasible.
Eczema impacts an estimated 30% of people in the U.S., mostly children and adolescents, according to the National Institutes of Health. But new research is providing hope to those who have eczema. In today's Health Minute, Mandy Gaither has more with one of the study's authors on why he says the data uncovered may help in the effort to prevent eczema.
It affects the largest organ on our bodies. Eczema can cause dry, red, itchy skin and is also linked to other health conditions like food allergies and asthma.
It's a very common problem, and the group who has severe disease is particularly affected.
And researchers believe they found a way to predict who will get eczema, also called atopic dermatitis. In a new study, non-invasive samples were taken using skin tape from children at 2 months. They were monitored until they turned 2 years old. Researchers found the skin of those who went on to develop eczema had increased levels of a protein called TSLP being released into the skin.
At 2 months of age, we could skin tape and actually predict who was going to get atopic dermatitis and who wasn't.
Study author Dr. Donald Leung says knowing who will get eczema may help prevent it in the future if researchers can protect the skin's barrier.
We've found preliminarily that lipid creams are the best at improving the barrier, but we are optimizing now this cream in the lab and then in the clinic.
Leung says researchers are also looking for natural substances that can reduce the amount of protein causing the problem and allow the skin cells to mature properly. For Health Minute, I'm Madelynn.
The study's author says next they hope to study babies at birth and the mothers when pregnant.
New research shows the popular low-carb, high-fat keto diet may put a person more at risk for heart disease. Scientists found the diet produced higher levels of bad cholesterol and doubled a person's risk of developing heart disease. Researchers compared the diets of several hundred people on the keto diet with about 1,200 people on a regular diet in the United Kingdom. Scientists followed participants for about a decade.
Elite athletes diagnosed with genetic heart disease may be safe to continue playing their sport of choice. That's according to research presented at the American College of Cardiology's annual scientific session. 76 athletes from various sports teams were included in the study. 73 of the 76 did not experience a cardiac event triggered by their disease during the study period. Coming up in sports, Zach Malamud joins us in the studio.
Zach, we're coming off a big weekend of Lakers sports. What's coming up this weekend?
Thanks, guys. Some big news out of Syracuse earlier today. I'll tell you that and more after the break.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
Shine on that black. Look at the bling. Do we got a diamond tester on? Yeah, that's getting bad. Yep.
10 out of 10 recommend on Yelp.
Score going to the playoffs. I can't believe I missed that. Every time I'm buzzed, I spend too much time on my phone. What? I should take your phone away. No. I'll call for a ride. Hey, why does my face look like that? I'm playing with these new face filters. Okay, you know what? Yep, that's mine. I'm gonna need that back. No. Kevin.
Welcome back to WTOP-10 Nightly News. I'm Zach Malamud with your Wednesday Sports Report. The Oswego State women's lacrosse team was back in action on Wednesday as they traveled to Utica to take on the Pioneers. The Lakers came out victorious with a 6-5 win behind a hat trick from junior Isabella Lembo. Senior Sela Wiley added 2 goals of her own to help the Lakers advance to 2-1 on the year. Oswego State will travel to Morrisville State tomorrow as they get set for a 5 o'clock matchup against the Mustangs. The Oswego State softball team will get their season underway this weekend with a doubleheader on Saturday down in Kissimmee, Florida. Their first matchup comes at 9 a.m. when they take on Emmanuel College of Massachusetts. The second matchup will be at 2 p.m. against New England College. The Lakers have 5 freshmen on the team this year as head coach Kristen Nichols gets set for her second year at the helm. Syracuse Orange men's basketball coach Jim Boeheim has officially retired after 47 seasons in charge. Boeheim is the second winningest coach in NCAA men's history with 1,015 wins. Syracuse made the NCAA tournament in 35 of Boeheim's 47 seasons. The 78-year-old is handing off the reins to associate head coach and former Syracuse player Adrian Autry. Autry has been on Boeheim's coaching staff since 2011. The New York Knicks had their 9-game winning streak snapped on Tuesday when they hosted the Charlotte Hornets at MSG. Charlotte had 3 starters with at least 23 points, with Kelly Oubre Jr. leading the team with 27. This is also New York's first loss at home in over 1 month. The Knicks will now get set for a 4-game road trip on the West Coast, and it all starts with a matchup against the Sacramento Kings on Thursday. Now let's send things to UBS Arena as the Islanders get set to take on the Buffalo Sabres. We're going to start things off in the second period, game tied at 0. Sabres forward Dylan Cousin grabs the puck out of the pile, skates through a couple guys, and rips it past Ilya Sorokin. 1-0 Buffalo. Still in the second, Hudson Fasching finds Casey Cizikas in the front of the net. The Islanders are able to tie it, and the game is tied at 1. Now let's head into the third. Game tied at 2. Fasching gets it across. Can't find anybody. It comes to Scott Mayfield. He'll throw it at the net off a couple guys, including Fasching, and into the net. Isles lead 3-2. Late in the third, the Sabres have one last chance. A couple pucks thrown at the net, and it won't get in as the Islanders win this one, and they've won 5 of their last 7. We'll be back with more after the break on WTOP-10 Nightly News.
Now it is time for Black Card Revoke. Like, what's this apology about now?
At least that's what I feel like. I don't know. I thought it was cute. You know?
I thought it was too.
Yeah. Like, okay, so what about this black lace ensemble?
You did a little song.
Yeah, I see it.
You did a little something. Yes. I'm gonna figure it out though. But it won't breathe to the sway. Yeah.
And I'm Donna. And this is the Sunset Show. Grab your low-rise jeans because we're taking it back to the 2000s. Let's go, girls. And low-rise jeans. Together. One of the boys. Boy.
Sorry, it's my agent. He told me that you're canceled.
Shebangy.
Welcome back to the Kind of Lake Show, where we talk about anything and everything going on in our lives and yours.
Well, my birthday was November 13th, so it's been quite some time.
I think at the end we saw him get up.
I did that. I can't.
It's a winner, and I did bring a sweater for everyone.
There you go! I know your dreams.
You started the paper throwing, just the immaturity. You lost before you even argued.
Pretty insane that the Clippers, 10 of the last 11 postseasons, they're in there.
Welcome back to WTOP-10 Nightly News, a positive story to end your night. The U.S. Postal Service is paying tribute to Toni Morrison with her own forever stamp.
The late author penned several novels throughout her career, including the Pulitzer Prize-winning Beloved and The Bluest Eye.
Morrison was the first African-American woman to receive a Nobel Prize in Literature in 1993.
The stamp features a portrait of Morrison against a yellow background taken in 1997 for the cover of Time magazine.
That's our report for tonight. Be sure to stay tuned for the Kinda Late Show.
Thank you for watching. Have a great night, everyone.